Today, we will be talking about what to watch. And I don't mean on TV. We're going to talk about primary coverage areas. And during the specific plays that we watch today, we're going to talk about, where should we be looking? And sometimes in our primary, sometimes when we reach out of our primary, it's okay to look, but what is in front of us? We survey the scene, and then we decide what we're going to watch. So let's start with this one. All right. Everybody see that? I'm going to play it fast again. Got 2 whistles on this play. Play it slow here. As you can see, we've got a ball handler who's getting ready to shoot, right? Opposite side of the lane. Gets bumped from behind pretty badly. And we got a whistle on it, which is great. I'm going to pause it right here. Whose primary coverage area is this?
Leads.
It is the lead. So the lead, do we agree, should be watching this ball handler coming in toward the basket, correct?
Yes.
Okay. What is the center looking at?
Shouldn't be looking at that play.
Does the center really have anything else to watch?
No. Number 10. That's it.
Right, number 10 is there, and maybe 35, that's in the trails area, but maybe 35 in the defender there. But they're not doing anything. So the center can look through the lane, which is the reason the center is there, to get a better angle. And what is the trail watching?
Watching the ball.
Well, what should the trail be watching?
His primary area.
Those 2 whites and two gray players.
Yep, all those players there in his area. Maybe that player out in the 3-point line, because he might get a dish from this driving player, right?
Yes.
So as the trail's a little too far out, but we'll be watching all the players that are trailing the current play. Okay? All right, so yes, we've got the leads primary. It's totally in the leads. Now, do you think the lead is going to see this play, even if he's looking right at it?
No, he's kind of straight lined.
He's totally straight lined. And though he can see that there's probably some contact, he really can't see the severity of what happens, right?
Yes.
The trail, who's again kind of far away, but also kind of stacked, and may not see how much contact there actually is. So who has the best look on this play?
Center.
Center. And the center gets it. Right? So even though it happens in the lead, the center sees the total impact and goes up. Now we've got 2 whistles on the play. The center is 15 feet away, right?
Yes.
The trail is way far away. And although, if we go back here, I'm just going to go back to the play, kind of comes in from trail. It's not a drive, but it kind of comes in from trail, so I can understand why trail's watching it, right? But who is going to have more credibility on this call, on this whistle?
Center, yeah.
The center should probably come in a little after he blows his whistle, take 3, 4, 5 steps into the play, and that'll help the credibility as well. But as you saw back here, the 2 officials kind of look at each other, and one official kind of nods the other like, you got it. It's yours. So they knew that the center should probably take this call, and the trail puts his arm down. Right?
Yes.
But we have there not just what we're watching and when we're watching it, we also have to be aware of what our partners are watching, where our partners are at. My partner there is stacked, or my partner there is 40 feet away, or whatever it may be, and know that not my primary, but probably the best call for me. Now, if the lead had a whistle on that, let's say the lead had a whistle on that, is the center going to come in and take that call?
Nope. Just
No.
drop.
No, because it's the lead's primary and the lead will rule on it. If the lead rules 100% incorrect, it makes no difference. It is the lead's call and the lead will take it if he has the whistle. We all agree.
Yeah. So
Someone
question.
asked me once, okay, but wouldn't we want to get together and talk about that? No, because this is not a play where you say, well, what do you have? What do you have? Let's get the best call. He makes the ruling. It is his ruling, and whatever he has, it stands. Does that make sense?
Hey, so question, Josh.
Yeah.
On that C position, is it appropriate to step on the court as that play is developing, or do you just kind of close in as you're blowing your whistle to kind of end up closer to the play? To kind
Yeah,
of show?
so it's totally acceptable to be on the floor because as this play progresses, there's nobody in front of C. Nobody, right? If the C takes 3-4 steps onto the court right now, maybe even down slightly, that's totally acceptable. As long as the C knows I'm on the court, and if the ball swings this way, I got to get back off the court.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. To me, it's like a better look. I mean, it looks, everyone can kind of see you're right on top of it.
And lots of guys will tell you can come onto the court, but most of us don't. We stand on the sideline and we stand stagnant. Maybe because we're just comfortable there. We don't want to get in the way, but it's okay. We should constantly be moving backward, forward, up, and down. It's not just hey, I got it in a good spot. I'm going to sit here. Always moving. Not only does it look better on video, it shows that you're actually engaged, but you'd be surprised how many times you move yourself into a position where you actually saw something that you may not have. All right.
I'd be more worried about the lead in that play because he's right below the basket, so everything's just piling into him. That's why I couldn't see anything.
You're worried about, say that again.
The lead is right there in the close down position, borderline in the lane line extended. If he was out, further from the lane,
If
he'd
he
have a
moved-
much better viewpoint.
If he moved back toward the sideline.
Correct.
Yeah. And that movement is not just the center and the trail, the lead back and forth and back and forth. I was told once years ago, as the lead, you want to follow the ball. If the ball is in the corner you're on, you want to be almost to the corner, in line with the ball. If the ball is up at the top, you want to be near the free throw lane line. If the ball's the other side, you want to be closing down, thinking about rotating over. You're constantly moving back and forth. And again, it helps you in a rotation. And two, it, again, makes you look engaged. It puts you in a better position to see what may be coming. So constantly moving.
Yes.
All right. It's the same. I'll come back to this. I don't want to do the same. Whoops. I don't want to do the same game 2 clips in a row. Let's do a different clip. Okay. I'm going to go back to the fast. We'll play it slow, and then we'll talk about positioning and what we should be watching. Only one whistle on this. This isn't a double whistle, one whistle, but it comes from across the floor. Looks like there's some reaching in there. I can't tell. It's because it's zoomed in, but he's 35 feet away, or so. The other official's right there on top of the play. And whose primary is this?
Center.
It was a center, but there was a rotation going on at the same time.
All right, let's go back and look. All right, so it was center, and the rotation is happening. I don't like that rotation. Why don't I like that rotation?
Because the ball's too high.
First of all, the ball is too high.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be rotating when the ball's that high. Now, it doesn't mean we never rotate. We do sometimes, especially if you see the center go up to officiate that play. then we might think about rotating. Okay. She started rotating. She closed down right about here, which is good. It's because we talked about moving back and forth, right? That's where I'm going to be standing as lead when the ball is right there. But I'm not thinking about rotating just yet. Because what now? I know it sticks here, but what now if he turns and goes right back the other way? I'm now stuck in the middle of the lane. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. So the other thing I don't like about this rotation, I'm going to play at full speed. Is she moving with purpose? Swiftly? Looks like she's just kind of, yeah, I guess I'll walk over. The official's manual says, if you're going to rotate, you rotate swift. I don't know if it uses the word swiftly, but with purpose. You move, not fast. You don't have to run, but you got to move. Get across the lane. You're rotating, then you want to get over there. Don't just like, oh, well, I'll kind of walk over, because one, you want to get over there to officiate, but two, it stands out to your partners. So your partners see that, oh, my partner's coming over this way. Here comes a rotation. It just makes it help stand out more. Okay. All right. That's enough on the rotation. So we've already agreed that this is the primary of the center, correct?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
And the center's going to be watching this play, obviously, but should the trail be watching this play? It came from trail's area, right? It's in the trail's area right now, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
So as the ball leaves his area, he's going to be with it for a while. You don't just, as soon as he crosses, you stop looking altogether, right? We need to be aware of our partners. What does my partner have to officiate? Well, your partner's not really officiating anything. And we eventually do have to relinquish. I think if I'm officiating this play, I can see my partner has it. He's looking at the play. He's right next to it. I don't need to be watching so intently. Now, as trail, do you have anything else to watch?
You got the players on your side, but I guess my question to you is, that middle area at the top of the key, that's always been tricky. But from my perspective, if the trail has a count going, that's the only time you would stay with a play that crosses over into the C's area. Is that true or false?
Correct. The trail, if they had a count, would stay with the count. However, that's a good question. I don't think they're going to necessarily officiate the play. I think the new official of that new primary still has to come up and officiate the play, because the whole point of primary coverage areas is you can't see very far away. They want you to see and officiate plays that are right in front of you.
But you're not going to have two counts.
Right. So you can keep your count. You can see a count relatively well enough, right? And you can't let someone else pick up your count because they don't know where you left off, right? That's the whole reason we continue our count, because you don't know that I'm at 3 or at 4 or wherever I'm at. So I got to keep counting. So I'm going to continue to observe the play, but I'm going to let the primary official officiate the play. Does that make sense?
It does. Now, how far would you come, if you're keeping that count, how far would you come onto the floor to demonstrate I got this count? Is where he is appropriate, or would you come out a little bit?
I might come out a few more steps.
Maybe into the backcourt, maybe, or?
And generally, I'm going to count a little bit bigger because I want my partner to see that I have a count.
Okay.
So what does that mean? A little bit bigger? I don't know, a little bit higher, a little bit more, demonstrative, just so everybody sees like I'm counting, and then my partner knows that they're not going to pick up a new count, because you don't want to blow 5 seconds when your partner's counted 2, right?
Right.
I mean, you still do, but all right. So the trail has 2 offensive players and a defensive player, assuming that the transition is happening. Otherwise, it's just those 2 offensive players. So my point is, he doesn't have anything to watch, right? There's no competitive matchup. He's aware that they're there, and he needs to remain aware that they're there. But so he's kind of watching the play and helping out. So I get the reason that he's watching the play. But I don't think, and you all can put in your 2 cents if you disagree, I don't think he should be coming up with a foul here. And again, because he is, here we go, he's this far away, and the contact happens where he can't really see what contact happens. Can he? He's stacked to that play. I, as an official, am going to say my partner is right there. I trust my partner is going to blow his whistle if he sees illegal contact. I'm going to let my partner officiate that play. Now, if I see something egregious, push and shove and knocks him down, and my partner says, then I can come in, I can get that. But a reach and foul, I'm not going to get. You guys agree or disagree? It's the second period. It's the end of the second quarter, but it's the second period. It's a 20-point game. That is not a you got to come and get and make sure we keep the integrity of the game. Connect. What do you think? Yes?
Agree.
Agreed.
Agree.
All right. And those are hard sometimes because when you're watching the play, even if you're not supposed to be watching, and you're watching the play and you see it, and how did my partner not get that? And I got to come in, but we've got to really trust our partners because, again, sometimes you think you see something and that's not what happened. So trust your partner.
I get your point, but I mean, there was probably a couple fouls on that play. If
Maybe.
if we're calling it tight, there's
Maybe.
at least 2 fouls.
I'm still not blowing my whistle.
You can say not from that far away, and I get your point, but I'm saying, like, from the third party perspective, I think we can agree that probably was a foul.
And then coach will yell at me and I'll say, Coach, he was right there. Now, I'm not selling my partner out. I'm not going to throw him under the bus, but I am going to have my partner have to take responsibility for why he didn't blow his whistle. And then he can ask him when he comes around because I don't know what happened. Yeah, I saw what you saw. You're right, Coach. It looked like maybe. Anyway, all right, let's move on. All right. This is not a foul situation, but we have a 3-point attempt. And I'm going to play it fast again. Where does the 3-point attempt go up at? We've got 2 officials signaling, oh, it's a 2. Should we have had 2 officials watching this play?
No.
No. Again, whose area is this?
Looks like centers.
Center.
His foot's on the line, I think, right? I mean, it's close. Maybe it's not. It looks like it from here, but who has the best look at this?
D-slot.
The center. 100% the center's area. If it's the center's primary coverage area, it's the center's 3-point line responsibility. It looks like the trail is watching this play, but what should he be watching?
Rebound.
All the
His area.
players on his side of the lane, right? And maybe the players in the lane, because when that shot goes up, I don't know who said it, but he's going to need to find and watch that rebounding action. So the center's got the shot. And they both.
Why is he signaling a 2 at all?
All right, let's talk about that
Could
for
be.
just a second. It's not an approved NFHS signal. However, maybe because I do it, I say it's okay. In close shots where it's near the line, I like to signal. I don't necessarily do 2, but I'll point down to the line, generally with 2 fingers. So the coach, when he thinks that it's a 3, I can say, Coach, it's 2. He's on the line right here. It's just like an added extra, hey, I see it. It's not that I didn't see it. I see it, and I'm telling you it's a 2. And so he's going like this out to his side, and he's probably roughly doing the same thing. That's not a signal. The primary referee, I think it's okay for the center to point, my opinion, down at the line, pointing at the line where he stepped on the line. Okay. We're not going like this to say, okay, it's going to be a 2 because that's not a signal, right? And if you don't point down, it's okay because you don't have to. By rule, you just stand there because every shot is a 2-point shot unless you signal the 3-point attempt. But that's probably what he's doing with his 2.
Okay, so for those tables that are a little less experienced, I mean, I always thought when I saw guys do it, it was always table side trying to get a table a heads up. Look, that was a 2. So they don't put a 3 on the board, especially the home tables.
And after the shot goes up and goes in, showing 2 fingers also is not an approved mechanic. But yes, that sure helps a table because they're looking for this. And when they don't see this, they still think, to your point, they still think, well, maybe that was a 3. Like, what was it, a 3? And they're looking around. And so you have to acknowledge with the table, no, it was 2 points.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone else had a question. I think I spoke over him.
It was just me. I was just gonna say, it looked like the 2 fingers went up or went out actually before the shot actually went in. So he was maybe just providing aid to his partner, unnecessarily, but
he was signaling this is a 2-point attempt. That's what he was doing. For sure. I know that's what he was doing. Well, I mean, I guess I don't know, but in a preemptive move to say if it goes in, then everybody sees that I already said it was a 2. I'm just saying we don't necessarily need to do that. And if you are, it's going to be the primary official. I suggest pointing to the line again, because what you're doing is saying, I see him standing on the line, but you don't need to even do that.
Yep.
All right, let's do.
I would just say as T, that's the kind of trouble you get in when you're standing, 5 feet behind the 28-foot line. You're going to be looking every which way because nobody's anywhere near you.
Well, and if you find yourself ball watching, because we all do it, right? It happens to all of us. Even in like really close games, you can ball watch because we're all fans of the game. I get that, but you have to quickly realize like, wait, oh no, I'm not. Even if you put a 2 out, put it down. Oh, it's not mine. Put it down. It's okay. Nobody's going to critique you. Maybe I will, but nobody's going to critique you. They're not even probably going to notice.
Hey, Josh, so when you're out there in C, in no man's land, which is the C position, and it's like all of the action is opposite of you, any tips or tricks on how you keep yourself from drifting into that ball watching? What do you do personally to kind of keep yourself from drifting into ball watching, even when you don't have anything around you?
So this official is not necessarily way out. In fact, many officials think the 28-foot mark is the home position. It is the 3-point line extended. The trail is supposed to be all the way down at the top of that 3-point line. So he thinks he's standing at the 28-foot mark and he thinks he's in the right spot, but they want us to be down further. Okay. So to answer your question, what do I do to keep myself from ball watching? Sometimes I literally have to tell myself, stop ball watching. Or like, Josh, there's people in your area over here, or whatever it may be. Literally talk to yourself, because otherwise you are going to get kind of into a daze almost watching. Now, again, it happens to all of us, and sometimes we don't recognize it until it's too late. I get that. But really try to stay engaged with what's happening in front of you. Even if there's just, 2 people, maybe you want to come in and make a comment. Hey, keep moving, guys. Or I don't know.
Now, once we start the the shot clock, if you have the ball, is it the responsibility of both other refs to keep an eye on the clock? Shot clock?
That's a good question. I'm not up on my shot clock, but typically the official who is watching the shooter is not going to watch the shot clock, right? Because they have to officiate the shooting play. Mm-hmm. So if I'm in my primary, even if they're not shooting, I'm in my primary, I'm watching the ball and the action. The other either the center or the trail, the other official is going to be attuned to the shot clock and take a quick look. We're not watching the shot clock either. Just like we don't watch the game clock at a last second shot, but we do glance up and see where it's at. We do get an idea of it's down to 10, it's down to 8, and we go that way because the shot clock also makes a noise to let us know that it has expired. We don't need to watch it go down to 0. And I know that's not what you're suggesting, but
No.
the primary official watches and officiates the primary action, which is typically the ball, and then the other official watches the shot clock. The lead's never going to have it. Maybe I should never say never, but it'll be the center or the trail who helps out with that.
Yeah, maybe that'll also help with keeping from ball watching.
Right. Right. I'd be that might be a good addition of the shot clock to help keep guys engaged. Lord knows there's a lot of these games that it's hard to stay engaged. All right, next one. All right, this one is a double whistle. It's a rebounding foul, it looks like. Shooting foul off of a rebound. And I've shaded in nicely here, but whose primary coverage area is this?
Centers.
But the center has 2, 4, 6, it looks like 8 players in his area to watch. Can the center watch 8 players?
No.
If he's good.
If he's good. So first of all, that trail, and we're going to say it all night tonight, has to move down.
True. True.
Right? The home position is 3-point line extended. He has to be down in that spot. Now, if the ball is near the division line because they're dribbling around, I get it. Come out, officiate the play. But especially in a play right here specifically on this, there is no reason whatsoever that trail should not be down by the 3-point line extended. So if he is down by the 3-point line extended, what is the trail going to be watching on this play?
A rebound.
Paint. Yes.
The paint.
Right? He's going to be watching primarily all the stuff in the paint. So now we know that the center has the shot, right? And the center can help with the rebounding after, now that he knows that his shooter is safe. And you've got not just one official watching 8 players, but you've got 2 officials watching 8 players. And what is the lead going to watch?
Paint too.
All the players in the paint again. So you have all 3 officials really watching the same area. And in this play, that is 100% acceptable. Everyone's watching the same thing. Now, hopefully they're not all watching the same thing. The lead's probably watching the 2 defenders that are coming close into that shooter, the new shooter here. Let's go to a closer look here. So 24 and 45, he's going to be paying close attention to them, right?
Yep.
Because we're going to referee the defense. Doesn't mean we don't want to know what the offense is doing, but we have to know what the defense is doing. The center is going to be watching probably, I don't see their numbers, but the other 2 defenders coming from behind of that shooter. Correct?
Yes.
And the trail, because the trail we know will move down and be 3-point line extended where he's supposed to be, we'll kind of be watching a little bit of everything. He's going to be the furthest away and can kind of see some cleanup if anything is missed. Okay? So as this play progresses and we have a foul, the center has the foul and the lead had the foul. Let's go back here again. Right? We got 2 fists up and the lead comes in and that doesn't look like the lead. No, he looks like he's looking at the center. Okay. So there might be communicating to who should take it, and you can take it or I can take it, right? But who should take this?
Center.
Center. It's in center's area. The center had a whistle. It's the center's call. Now, I'm not saying the lead was wrong. The center may have said, go ahead and take it. Okay, if someone's going to tell me to take it. But me, personally, I'm going to go up. I'm the lead. I'm going to go up. Oh, the center's got a whistle, and I'm just going to drop right away because it's not my primary. I shouldn't have to look to you and say, do you want it? Should I take it? No, it's yours. You're going to take it. Right? So we're watching what we're supposed to watch, but we also know that our partner's watching. Our partner has a whistle. I don't need my whistle anymore.
I know.
Hey, Josh, real quick. That lead, was there an opportunity for him to close down and say, get his feet on the W?
The lead on this play,
He had been on a W. I mean, would that make the call a little bit, kind of maybe more appropriate for him to take?
okay, so it's hard to say because the clip starts right here. I don't know where the ball was prior to this. It might have gotten passed over, and so the lead was in a spot to be where he's supposed to be. And then when the ball goes up, as lead, you don't want to close down into the rim. Because
Well,
when you
I thought that, I was taught that if you divide the court into three, you want to be within 2 lanes of the play. So basically, if he's not on the W, maybe he's on the E, the beginning of the E, to kind of get closer as that ball starts to get underneath to give him, his best view if he's not going to rotate.
You mean like right now at this moment or after that shot goes up?
Right at that moment, would there be an opportunity for him to start to pull it in a little bit because the ball is on the other side of the floor and it's 2 lanes over basically?
Yeah, and again, it's hard to say because this clip doesn't show enough to give you context of the game. Do they pass the ball back and forth and back and forth? If they do, it's hard to, again, I've said it before, but you do need to keep moving back and forth and back and forth. But sometimes when you're standing, let's say standing at the S, and let's say that ball was right at number 3 white.
Right.
He had the ball and he just passed it over and just put the shot up. Yeah, he might be taking a step toward because he sees is over there, but then he sees the shot going up. I'm probably going to stay where I'm at. When I see that shot's going up, I want a nice wide view of all those rebounders so I can see what's going on.
And when you're focusing as the lead, are you focusing on waist down or waist up or all of it?
I'm when it's not in my primary, I am focusing primarily on body, pushing, hipping, any kind of blocking with the lower body extremity. I'm not looking so much up top to get anything. Doesn't mean I won't see it. Again, the further back you are, the more you're going to be able to see. But yeah, I'm going to focus more on the pushing and the shoving. If it's in my primary and it's going up, I'm watching everything.
Okay.
Because because a shot went up and I'm the lead doesn't say, well, I don't have to watch up top. It's your primary. You have to see everything that happens in your primary. So in this particular play, I'm watching more body than anything.
Okay.
Hey, Josh.
Yeah.
The only thing I saw was on the rebound for sure, and maybe even before the rebound, Trail is really backing out a lot rather than staying put or stepping in. He's really backing out on that.
Well, and Trail didn't start in a good position to begin with.
No.
And the back out is typically, I don't want to say it's older officials, but we think to ourselves, don't want to get beat, right? So I'm already moving back because that ball was probably going to go in and I'm going to get down to the other end. And we got to lose that train of thought.
I agree.
All right. Next one.
You'll feel different when you get older.
Okay. This play looks very similar to a play that I had that I think I called incorrectly, but unfortunately I don't have that for tonight's meeting. That's amazing. All right. So not a great angle on this video here, but we see, I'm going to turn the volume down. We see fast again. Play gets passed over to, let me zoom in a little. Play gets passed over to who's primary?
Centers.
Totally centers, correct?
Correct.
No question. Not even close to an intersection. It's totally center. And then what does this player do? Drives to the basket, correct?
Yes.
So,
Right.
and again, not even close to an intersection, but if it was, as the primary official, once it leaves your area, if it's a drive to the basket, we stay with that play all the way to the basket, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay, this is a drive to the basket. It's still in the center's primary, but it was a drive, so she's with this play the entire way. Okay, there's the shading. It's in the center. This is center's call, correct?
Yes.
All the
Now-
way.
Now I'm going to say this. I'm going to pause it here. Whether you think it's a block or a charge, and I can make an argument personally either way. Okay? You think it's a block or a charge. How, you tell me, how on earth can the lead know what happened? Can the lead see where this contact is happening?
No.
He's got a body in front of him.
He's got a body in front of him and he's stacked in the play. Yes,
Yeah.
he sees a white player coming toward the basket and he sees a black player falling backwards, but did this kid get clipped in the leg? Is that a block on the leg? Is it hip to hip, which makes it a charge? He doesn't know. But who knows this play?
Center.
Center.
The
Center.
center has all the information, all of it. Now, I'm also okay that he blew his whistle. A cadence whistle would have been nice here, but that's fine. He wants to make sure we get it. But his partner also had a whistle. So what did I just say in the last play? If you've got a double whistle and it's not your primary, what should we do?
Drop your arm.
Drop your arm. Now, easier said than done sometimes at the lead when a charge is coming your way, right? Even when it's not in your way, we get excited when we want to punch it. I totally get that. And that's why I like to really preach, if you are center or you are trail, I mean, lead has to do it too, but if you are center and you are trail, you have to post and hold. You have to, because that lead, when they get excited, they're not going to post and hold. They want to punch because that's just what we've done over so many years. So I thought they both did a nice job of posting and holding. But
Yeah,
if you're
you
both
did
going to
both.
post and hold, then you should be able to say, oh yeah, not my primary, and put it down and let your partner take it.
It looks
Just
like
good.
it looks like that play we just saw happened last night. One of those charges, if I
Maybe.
remember
I
right.
think we had a sidestep yesterday.
Yeah.
I think we got that one right. I had one a couple days ago and I got yelled at for it, and I got the video and I was like, I think he's right. But
Josh,
go ahead, George.
I got a question for the group, and this is a good spot for this because it's relative to a play like that. Can you have a block charge like that? Can you have a double foul on a block charge?
Can you? Yes. Should you? No.
Explain to me how you can, because the way I see it is it you I think you have referee error if you have that.
I agree. It's referee error, but you know what? Here, I got another play that I wanted to play, and it's a Blarge. We can discuss exactly that. Okay. Now, when you have a double foul in a play like that, it's because you have a Blarge. I'm going to play this first. Okay. Did we see what happened?
Yeah, you got
Yes.
Oh, I don't want this yet. This is what I want. Okay. Play comes in. We got a foul here, or we've got contact, right? And you've got this official, the center, who has a fist. Do we see the lead down there have a fist up?
Yep.
Okay. Now this is where we should be saying posting and hold. It's not my primary, don't signal, whatever we do. But the lead punches right away. And then the center has a block.
Oh, gee.
Okay. Now I'm gonna go back to this, but we now officially have a double foul, because you can't get together and say, what do you think? It was oh yeah, okay, I guess you're right. Can't do that. You just ruled it was a charge and you just ruled it was a block. You both have got to go with it and say, fine, double foul, point of interruption, let's move on. And I would move on as quick as you can, because the longer it takes, the more people
Quick as you-
seethe over the fact that these guys don't know what they're right. So if you can get it and get it going and back here and okay and report it, they're not going to like it, but they'll accept it. That makes sense. So that's where it can be a double foul. But I agree, somebody, whether you want to say it was a block or a charge, somebody made a mistake
Right.
by signaling when they shouldn't have signaled. Right.
Now,
I see
you're either there-
officials make bad calls all the time, or wrong calls, or different from what I think I should say. But it doesn't mean that it's a referee error. That is their judgment. The referee error is when you both do something when it's really just supposed to be one of you.
Yeah, well, it would when you enhance the fact that you go from what should be a 1 foul, you make it 2 fouls.
Right. But you can't, this is why you can't get together and just make it 1, because who are you being fair to or unfair to then? Coach, he said it was a foul on your kid, but you know what? I'm telling you it wasn't. And then, because are you kidding me? So you're just telling you that your partner's opinion is not as good as yours. And even though you may think it in your mind, you can't let everyone else in there know that I'm better than my partner and we're going with what I call. And because now you look like, you know, who this guy's going to call the whole court. So you have to, right? And again, no one's better than anyone else. But we all have thoughts when things like this happen. We're like, oh my God, how could he call? All right, that's okay. That's human. But how do you handle that?
So what happened there? Did
All right.
did the other guy get overruled, Josh? Or
Let's
did
play
he-
it out. I've got some more to talk about on this since we have it up. I'll play it fast again, and then I'll just let it play out.
Hold on.
Your personal foul, Sheila Klein.
Did everybody see what just happened?
Personal foul 33, James Engel.
And now they're talking about it. You had the lead report a charge. You had the center not even see him report. I'm going to go back real quick. Because the center lost his number or couldn't find his number. See, he's looking back. I got to get my number. And he doesn't see the lead reporting. So when he's done and he goes through, he didn't even know that the lead had a call. And then he corrects him. He's like, why is everyone going to that end of the floor? I've got another, and he reports blocked. So not only did you just have 2 different calls, both officials reported the foul. Okay?
So what happened?
That's even more complicated, because you didn't just say, oh, we got to get together and figure it out. You both reported. So I shouldn't say it gets more complicated. It doesn't. It gets even easier. He has a block. I have a charge. Double foul. You record them both. Point of interruption, and we're going to move on.
Hey, Josh.
Point of interruption was a shot.
Point of interruption was a shot. And did the ball go in or was it missed?
It missed.
Missed.
Ball goes up. Yep, and bounces out, right? So what's
Right.
the point of interruption?
Well, it's going to be on the baseline, but it's going to be possession arrow, right?
Where the ball becomes dead.
Right.
First whistle is right here. Well, it looks like it was probably simultaneously done. It was probably loud in there. I'm not going to fault these officials for not knowing the other person had a whistle. It happens sometimes. Sometimes there is a whistle and you just don't hear the other official's whistle. I get that. Okay. And this was maybe a perfect storm of, again, looking back to get the number and not seeing him reporting. Probably it's not going to happen in most games, but it happened here. So the point of interruption is a shot that was missed. Who has team control?
Wait,
Nobody.
Nobody.
wait. She
Nobody
had
has
control
team
when she went
control.
up, though, when she drove into her. No,
I'm sorry, say that again.
She had control when the blocking foul occurred.
When was the play interrupted?
The ball was in the air.
The play was interrupted when the official blew their whistle for a foul. Correct?
Right.
When the
Right.
whistle blew, the ball was in the air and it was a shot attempt. It was a try for goal, which means there is no player or team control on a try for goal. Well, how do you
Right.
determine who gets the ball then if nobody had control?
Possession
AP.
arrow.
You got to go to the
possession
AP
arrow.
arrow. Does everybody understand that?
Mhm.
Yes.
If there's no team control, you can't determine who has possession. You have to go to the alternating possession arrow. If the whistle was here, and I'm not saying we're splitting hairs here. If you know maybe two ran over this player, never got the shot off, and the ball is still in her hands, okay? Who has the ball?
White.
White. So who's going to get the ball?
White.
White.
Point of
White.
interruption.
Because if White clearly has possession, the point of interruption was when White was in possession. Okay? What if the ball is shot and goes through the basket and it goes into the basket?
No
Count it.
basket.
Does it count? But there was a player control foul. It's a double
it
foul,
doesn't
right?
count. Doesn't count.
Doesn't
Counts.
count.
The ball, it counts.
Why
No,
does
it
it
doesn't
count,
count.
Tim?
Because the point of interruption is the made basket.
Okay, but that's not
But
why
there's
it
an
counts.
offensive
Why does
foul.
the points count?
Because he called a block.
Yeah, because it's a double foul.
Because it's not a player control
No
foul.
foul. It's a double foul.
It is a
that's
double
why.
foul. And when a double foul is called, the ball remains live. Only in a player control or team control foul does the ball become dead. Does that make sense? And you could say, yeah, but one of the fouls was a player control foul. Totally get that. But it's categorized as a double foul. And a double foul, the ball remains live. So if it goes in, the bucket counts. You give them 2 points. But then who gets the ball?
The other team.
Other team.
The other team, because would it be fair to say you get 2 points and guess what? The arrow's pointing your way, so you get the ball back. No, they get their 2 points. They each get a foul and the other team gets the ball.
We go
Yes.
the other way. Yep.
Everybody understand that?
Mhm.
Those are the 3 options. Always. There's only 3 options. I mean, unless obviously the defense has the ball, but that's the option is whoever has possession of the ball at the time it's interrupted. You have to know these. Otherwise, it's going to take you a long time to figure it out. And your
Right.
credibility gets lower and lower and lower the longer it takes. People just don't believe that you know what you're doing. Even though you may get together and you want to get it right and you get it right in the end and you guys are really thorough and it doesn't matter. Perception is these guys don't know what they're doing. All right. Hopefully you never have to worry about a Blarge, but if you do, always know point of interruption and those 3 options.
Yeah, there's one other thing that's good to remember, Josh, is because people get mixed up and they're like, well, we shoot this, this guy shoots and then we clear the lane. You never shoot on a double foul. So if you put that in your head, you'll never, that's one thing you just have to forget. Like nobody's shooting no matter what.
That is a great point. Let's
Yeah.
say one of the teams was in the bonus
Yeah,
and you have a
right.
double foul. Do you shoot those bonus shots?
Never.
Never. The
Hey,
rules
Josh,
book is,
so
go ahead.
why isn't a Blarge one or the other?
You mean, why
It
can't you
is.
just pick one?
Yeah, just why isn't it a situation where someone's right and someone's wrong?
It is. It actually absolutely is. And I
But
can
it's
tell you why.
not.
You're
But it's
either.
not.
I got to disagree with you. You're either there or you're not.
I
You
agree
either
with
get-
you. In a
either have
Oh, yeah.
position- You either have position or you don't. So it's one or the other. It can't be both.
George, in a perfect world, you're right. But in a perfect world, we would never have a Blarge because everyone would see the play correctly. I
So,
see
did you say I was
a
right? I got to
charge.
get my wife in here.
I see a charge. 100% a charge. My
Yeah.
partner
Right.
sees a slight, he moved over, right? It doesn't make him any less right. He just saw something different. And in meetings in the past, we've shown different angles. And in this angle, it looks like a charge. And in this angle, it looks like a block because sometimes it's just what angle you're at and what you see. So
Yeah,
it
but
doesn't-
how come? So I guess for me, it feels like it's a contradiction. If we have a double whistle and we're apart, and then I just drop my hand because it's your primary, that to me, that's no different than if we have a Blarge, we come together, or I just say, it's your primary, you just take the call.
the
Why does
different,
both of us going to report
the
those-
difference is The difference is I didn't just tell everybody in this gym what I'm ruling on that play.
Because I went through the signal.
Right?
Yeah.
Because if
I went
I
to my
say
preliminary.
charge and my partner says block, I can't say, no, he's not as good as me. We're taking my call, or vice versa. Right?
So
You
on those
can't do that.
preliminary, if you do that preliminary quickly, that's the problem with it. A quick
That's right.
preliminary.
That's why you post and hold. And again, you can go in the locker room and say, Jack, how the hell did you have a block on that? He just barreled through him. And Jack may say, oh, didn't you see him stick his leg out? He totally stuck his leg, right? So again, it's possible that I think I saw it 100% right, but I didn't. And that's why I get the video and I watch, because sometimes you see something different. So yeah, the difference is not, okay, I had a charge, but he had a block. Okay, it's his primary, he gets the block. So I'm
Right.
not telling anyone that I have a charge. Therefore, if I get masked, didn't you have a charge? No, I had the same thing.
Yeah, it just feels like the gym just goes up for grabs at that point. You
Yeah.
know.
Hey Josh, let's go back to what you were talking about too. That you're talking about where you're supposed to be watching.
Yes.
That play was right in front of C.
All right.
In front of him.
I got some shading in here, Tim. Let's talk
Okay.
about it.
But he was straight line a lot.
Where is the ball right now?
C's not straight lined.
Right in the middle of the paint.
Whose area
wait
is
a minute.
this?
It's C's.
Is
Four
it?
leads.
Right in the middle.
It is literally right in the intersection of primary coverage areas.
Yeah, right there, but not when
All
she
right, hold
passes the
on.
ball. Okay,
So
go
hold
ahead.
on. So we've
ahead.
got two officials watching this play.
Correct.
Okay. Now we've got a lot of other players to watch. Who's watching all the other players?
Crowd.
Trail.
It can't be just Trail. He can't watch 8 other players, right? So the primary is going to either be lead or center, but the lead and the center have to be aware that they're right. And I know this one's perfectly in the center, but
Right there it is.
hey, it's in the middle of the lane. I got to make sure I know what the other players are doing too, because it's probably not going to happen right there in the lane. So we always have to have our secondary eyes up and know the center is going to be looking at that competitive matchup that's in the Trails area, but he's going to be knowing that that's coming his way. The center is also going to be looking at the number 11, maybe going to get a dish for the 3, right?
Right.
The lead is going to be watching those players in his area. The lead is totally aware of that ball and the matchup of the defender there, but he also knows he's got 2 defenders just to the left of her. Right?
Right.
Yes.
When we
Correct.
officiate, we cannot key in on 2 players. We can't. We're constantly watching 4 to 6 players at one time. Not 100% focus, but we know where they are and we know what they're doing. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Let's let this play progress. Because to Tim's point, it didn't stay there.
Right.
It
there it
dished
is.
off over here,
Now
which
whose primary is?
which is clearly in the centers, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
And even though it started, let's say the lead said that was in my area. As soon as she passes the ball to someone else out of his area, he has to pick up all the secondary defenders and all the other action in his own primary coverage area. Because someone may throw an elbow or push or do something maybe to get a rebound because it's a play they know they're going to run. And if that ball goes wide, they want to be in position. So the lead has to be watching all of that. And he has to trust the center to see the play. Right? So the center's watching this. The lead
Yes.
should be watching this. Agreed?
Agreed.
When the crash happens, the center watched it the entire way. The center has all the information. What does the lead have? The information of those players, right? Now, if he's ball watching, he's going to have a lot of information too, but he shouldn't be because, again, something else may happen. Now, you can argue whether the center got it right or wrong. I don't care. I don't care whether the center got it right or wrong. What I care is the lead shouldn't have blown his whistle.
Right.
And if he did blow his whistle, which is totally understandable, and I get, should know, not my area, and drop his hand. it's easier to say on a meeting like this than it is when you're in there to do it. I get that. But we have to train ourselves to know our area, blow our whistle. Oh, not mine, and put it down. Everyone agree with that?
Yes.
Don't go fishing in someone else's pond.
If you do, come out with a whale.
That's right. All right. It's 8 o'clock.
Wow.
That means I got to have a bonus play. I didn't get a bonus play ready. Let's see. Here we go. We'll see if this is worthy of a bonus play. Did you guys hear the crowd? They were kind of upset, which understandably, right? Kid
That
got
was a load.
totally smashed. We all agree. I hope nobody on the call says, well, I'm not sure that's a foul, right? That's a foul, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Ooh,
I mean, that's a bad foul. I
he
shouldn't be
almost went
laughing,
over
but
him.
he did a sky jump on him. Look, he goes up. Oh. Okay, so we have a foul. What do you think I'm going to talk about on this? Anybody?
Positioning?
Who?
First of
Crowd?
all, do you have him shooting or not shooting?
Yes. Shooting.
Active shooting.
I think, in my opinion, he is 100% shooting the ball.
Definitely.
He's looking to shoot here, and then he's like, crap. And then he even
Then he-
says himself, well, I better make a motion upward.
Yep.
I mean, that kid took it. All right, so he's definitely shooting the ball, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure.
He looked like he was gonna pump, like he was gonna shoot, and then he brought the ball back down, and that's when he got hit.
Yes,
Well,
but
it's
even if,
continuous motion, though, right?
even if
Then
he
he's
brings the
going
ball
up.
down, if he brings the ball down here and braces for contact, I'm giving him a shooting foul
He's going up right there.
because that was his intent, and he knew he was going to get squashed. I'm not going to split hairs. I'm going to say, you know what, kid, you're getting those shots.
You did say that. It looks like
Hey,
you.
that's like tuck rule kind of stuff.
So my point on this play is, because it's a clear-cut foul, but it's a hard foul. And you see the kid goes down and kind of lays down, right?
Yes.
The officials do a great job on this, and I want to point this out. They don't just bail and go report the foul and let's get moving on. What do you do in a play like this?
Hold your ground.
Stay there, watch,
Yep.
make sure the player's okay. Now, the lead who called the foul could have come in too, but the center's all over it. And the center comes in and the center's checking and are you okay? And keeping guys away and make sure he gets up. Once he gets up, okay, he's getting up. Now we can go and we can report. Don't get so excited. Boop, I got it. And I'm going to go report it. If a kid is down and the kid's hurt, the whole game is going to wait for you. Nobody's going to start without you reporting that foul or getting the ball or whatever it is. And no one's going to start if the kid's laying on the ground. So you don't need to do anything. And it makes you as an official look better in the eyes of the coach. That coach might be angry because his kid got fouled and he thought maybe you allowed it for whatever reason. But if you're standing there and like, hey, are you okay? And it's going to go a long way to help ease that relationship. And I do want to mention this. Before I show you the schedule for the next meeting, in Facebook, and the Officials Institute has a Facebook page. And I share videos, not very often. I wish I could do it more often. I have a busy life too, so I squeeze it in when I can, but once a week, maybe. Sometimes I'll get 2 or 3 in a week if I'm, clipping a lot and I put it on there. But my point is, all these other groups, including OIs, put these videos on, and we've got 1,400 plus people on our group and lots of different opinions. Okay. I can't go in and give my opinion on every comment that is made and say, well, the reason is this, and the reason is that, like we do here. And I may even be wrong. You may think that I'm wrong on a thing and we can talk about it. You can't do that on Facebook. And I'm not going to go back and forth with somebody because some people have a strong opinions and they're not going to back down either, right? So just know you've got to take the video and take the information from everybody and pull what you can out of it and discard the rest. And if it's something you don't understand, come to me or go to a mentor or go to someone you trust of their judgment and have them look at it and talk about it with them. But you can't just, this person says it's travel and that person says it's not. And if you're confused and you don't know, figure it out. But, like George, really to your point, again, in a perfect world, it really is only one way. It's either a travel or it's not, but that's not how people work. We don't all see things the same way. And so for you, it's this way and for him, it's that way. And we're both valid in our thinking, right? So it's not any less valid. All right, here is the schedule for next month. What is it? January 11, the second Thursday of January 11th, 7:00 again. We're going to be talking about shooting or not. Continuous motion, which is kind of what we just watched in the bonus clip, right? I mean, wasn't my point, but was he shooting or not? We're going to have plays like that. Talk about, did he go up? Did he recoil back? When does the contact? Where's the shooting, active shooting begin? I'm going to use the word gather, which is not in the rules book, but we're going to use that to try and help formulate some opinions and philosophies as to how we can determine when the shot happens. And it's, again, this is a hard rule as well because it's different for everybody. Everybody sees it differently. And I'm not going to convince anyone otherwise, but if we can slowly maybe get a little bit closer, then it'll be better for the game. So we'll talk all about that next month. Have a good holiday tournament season.
Right.
All right. We'll see you guys all next month.
Okay, thanks, Josh. Good job.
Thanks, Josh.
Thanks, Josh.
Merry Christmas.